wage is about less than 5,000. For private sector to do well and to contribute very well, they need power. What will you do in the power sector? And particularly, if you're going to invest more money into it, where will the money come from? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Well, as a government, there are many avenues to get more money in terms of revenue. But coming specifically to the power sector, unfortunately, I disagreed with my boss during our team. I advocated for a diversified power generation system. My boss wanted a generation system based solely on gas. I said, we will get to that level, but for us to provide electricity supply, I invited PwC as then chairman of the BPE. I said, PwC, go around this country, tell me how we could produce enough electricity before we leave office. PwC went around the whole of this country, gave me a report, how we could diversify generation in particular. And I submitted the report to the president. And the president said, no, I believe only in gas. I said, we are not yet there yet. We will get to gas, but we are not there yet. Now we need electricity before we leave office. And according to that PwC report, by 2005, we would have generated enough electricity for all parts of this country based on a diversified generation system without even improving the transmission. Because the moment, of course, you concentrate generation at a particular point, and you are generating such a very, very powerful district, you also have to upgrade your transmission district. So in other words, the PwC report divided Nigeria into zones and identified in each zone the source of generation for each zone, so that without spending too much money on transmission, you could generate enough electricity for a zone where there will be electricity everywhere. But we disagree. And I withdrew from that, from the implementation of that program. And that program failed. So I still believe that before we go to our full gas potential, we may still have to look at the PwC report, or we may have to ask them and say, look, come in. Because by that their report, by 2005, we would have been self-sufficient in generation before we even left office. But unfortunately, we did not implement that report, and this is where we are today. Me, I believe in that report. I can get that report updated by PwC and see how we can implement to make sure that we get enough electricity in the short and medium term before we go to the long term, which is gas. I remember I interviewed the chief executive of a foreign oil company. He said, let me tell you this, Mr. Vice President. Your gas, what he called it is diversification, and he said before you even put up the gas infrastructure in Nigeria, it will take you not less than 10 years. Because of the challenges you have in the gas producing area. So if you want an immediate electricity, then this is the only solution. I also remember how we argued on the issue of privatizing some portion of the NNPC. By then, I now submitted a paper saying, look, let's privatize even 10% of the NNPC. Then oil price was high. We would make not less than 20 billion. With this 20 billion, we can build all the roads, the railways in this country, and the seaports and so on and so forth. We don't have to borrow money for that. Say, no. I believe we have to privatize the NNPC anyway. And this current privatization is fake. Go to the capital market, privatize it. Why you say privatized and all the shares are being held by federal government and state government? Which federal government and state government? Go to the capital market, go to the host communities, let them also all have, let them partake in the privatization. Yes. You send your children to the United States. I don't know whether there are public universities in the United States. I had a very heated argument with a professor when he read through my policy document, and so where I said, look, we should, not that we will not have public universities, we should have public universities, but the children of the poor should be the ones that should benefit our policies in private universities, in public universities, not the children of the well-to-do. The children of the well-to-do can send their children to private universities where they can afford. And I asked him how many public universities are in the United Kingdom where all of you send their children to go. So I had a very heated argument with a professor of a federal university. He thought maybe I wanted to lay off all the staff in the private. I said, no. What I mean is that there will be a change of policy whereby, just like in the United States, if you are from a poor family, you will have a scholarship or you will have a loan. I am from a very, very poor family. But for the fact that, I enjoyed free public education, I would not be where I am today. So I am going to make sure that public education is well funded, but is meant principally for the children of the poor. The children of the well-to-do or the middle class who can afford to send their children to private universities in Nigeria or abroad can do that. But I will make sure the children of the poor who go to public universities